So when I execute this one within this PLSQL block, I am using this DDL command. That is create table structure command I am using. Then what will happen? It is throwing the error. Okay. And control the symbol create when expecting the one of the following. Begin case declare exit for go to if loop. So this is the sum of the error message it is throwing. So that means you cannot directly use the DDL commands or DCL commands inside this PLSQL block. To execute that, you have to use the execute immediate. Okay. So for that, what I have to do? So simply instead, when you execute this, I am getting the error. So that what I will do? I will add the execute immediate command. Execute immediate within the single quotes. I will use enter logic. Okay. Now what will happen? So DDL command can be successfully completed. So name already it is there. So that means this table name already somewhere it is using. So that I'll change this 05. I'll add 0805. So begin execute immediate within the single quotes. I'm using this create table xxemp underscore 0805 with employee number, employee name. Now the procedure package is, that means that block is executed successfully. That means to use the DDL commands inside a PLSQL block, we have to use the compulsory execute immediate. But for inserting, there is no need to use the execute immediate. Suppose within the begin and end, what I will do, I will try to insert into values, these values. Insert into xx underscore emp underscore 0805. Values 1 comma, maybe CD or something, whatever it may be. So insert into this table values 2 comma HCDF. HCDE. Oh, now this executed. So if you check the table, select start from xx underscore emp underscore 0805. Then the two records got inserted with single execution. Okay, here this is the DML commands. Insert is the DML command. There is nothing, no need to use the execute immediate for the DML commands. But whereas for the DDL commands and DCL commands, you have to use the execute immediate. Suppose if I want to truncate this table. So normally how will you use the truncate table name will give. That is xx underscore emp underscore 0805. Suppose same command I am using. So within the block, begin I am adding this begin and end to this. Then if I execute, what will happen? It will throw the error. So to execute the DDL commands, compulsory you have to use the execute immediate command so that you can use this here also in this example. So I'm using the execute immediate. So after that, single quote I'm passing here. So then now the table got truncated. You can check the table data. There is no data. So that means any DDL commands, you have to use the execute immediate in the PLSQL block. Same way, you can have the Suppose if I want to give the grants using under the PLSQL block to this table, then XX underscore EMP edtech underscore 0805. For this table, I want to give grants to this HR schema. Grant select on XXEMP 08052 HR schema using the block. Then also it will throw the error. So that simply I have to use this execute immediate. Then when you use this, it will execute the command correctly. So same way you can use the, suppose I want to create a table using the anonymous block so that I can assign the variables. I can initialize the variable and in this variable I am assigning the table details. So declare LV underscore table name where cutoff that assignment operator XX underscore demo underscore 0805 I am giving. Column 1 where cutoff that serial number, column 2 where cutoff that S name where cutoff 50 here I am giving. So that means I am storing the table name in one variable and column names in another variable like this in this column 1, column 2 and one more variable SQL statement I am taking. So varchar of 300 I am taking. Begin SQL statement assignment operator. That means in this variable I am storing this create table structure. Create table concatenate LV underscore table name concatenate within this columns concatenate closing here. So what it will do? So it will prepare a table creation syntax using this create table, table name within the brackets column 1 data type and column 2 data type and after that closing. So that means whatever the create table structure is there, syntax is there, that we are splitting into this separate variables and storing the data into this variable, and after that in another variable we are making the syntax here, create table syntax. With that variable I am using this execute immediate SQL start, that means SQL statement. So whatever this in this SQL statement that will be executed. So with that table will be created. So before creating this table, I am printing this SQL start using the DBMS output also. So this is the syntax of this table creation. Create table XX underscore demo underscore 0805 with serial number as a number data type, S name as a varchar 2 of 50. This is the normal table creation command. So same thing, we are assigning to this variable and in the PLSQL block using this execute immediate execute immediate SQL start. That means this will be executed here. You can check that table you want. The table got created. So if you want to insert data, you can insert here using this. After creating, same way you can insert into table name that can be used here. Suppose I want to use this begin and I will use this insert statement. Or I can say I can use this declare also declare. So declare table name LV underscore table name varchar of 30. I'm using this same table name. So begin, I'll use what insert into instead of the table name what I can write LV underscore tab underscore name values. Can I insert like this? So this is the variable name, and in this variable we are having the xx demo 0805. We'll try this whether it is inserting or not. So for this serial number 1 and column name to S name, so that I can give XYZ. I'm executing this block only. Table name or view does not exist. That means in this statement is it not accepting this LV underscore tab name. This is looking for the table name, but this is the variable name we are assigning here, so that it will not accept like this. But in this DDL statement, what we are doing, execute immediate, we are passing all the syntax into this SQL start, and we are executing using this execute immediate. Okay. For DDL commands, it will work, but for the DML commands directly, you can insert the values or table names. Then it will be, record will be inserted, and you can check this table, one record. Suppose same way, if I want to delete a record from the employee one table, then declare v underscore tab varchar of 50 emp1 table. Begin delete from concatenate v underscore tab concatenate where emp number is equals to 7369. So it will throw the error. So why? Because directly you cannot execute the so you can use this declare v underscore tab varchar of 50 emp1 begin execute immediate delete from within the single quotes delete from concatenate table name. After that, concatenate where class where employee number is equals to 7369. Then it is deleting the record from this table. Same way you can use here in the insert statement also, you can use the execute immediate here. Directly insert into table name, it is throwing the error. So then you can use the execute immediate, insert into command. After that, we have to give the table name LV underscore concatenate LV underscore tab name. Concatenate again values. Okay. So like this you can try differently. So then whether it is working or not, you can check. Still it is giving the error. Some means you have to use somewhere differently like this. So for inserting, might be how to here again single quotes are there. So that may be causing the error. To overcome this, you have to do some alternatives. So that you can try how to insert using this execute immediate. So later I will tell you. Okay. First you can try how to insert this into table using the execute immediate. Delete, already we have delete used it here same way. You can try also. But coming to insert, we are using here single quotes. To overcome this single quotes issue, so there will be some alternative will be there. Okay, that you can try and let me know. So my requirement is create a stored procedure to drop a table at runtime. This is the requirement now. So create a stored procedure to drop a table at runtime. So simply you can use the execute immediate within this creator replace procedure drop table. This is the table procedure name I am using drop table, and I am passing the n as a in varchar2 is begin execute immediate drop table n. Okay, so I'm creating the procedure with this. So what it will do? So n is the in parameter for the whatever the n value you are providing, that will be deleted automatically. Dropped from the execute immediate drop table name. Suppose execute drop underscore table within the brackets. I have to pass the variable, that is test is there. Table not exist, so that I'll give this same table xx underscore demo underscore 0805. So I'm passing the execute drop underscore table. I'm calling this procedure. Okay. So we are going to call the procedure execute command execr complete word execute drop table name. Now this completely remove the table. There is no table now. So like this, you can create a stored procedures using the execute immediate also. So if I want to purchase the table, then I can create the stored procedure like create or replace procedure drop underscore table in varchar2 is begin execute immediate drop table, and table name we have to pass here and patch. So that will be created the complete patch. It will not recover from the database once it is dropped. Suppose if I want to delete a table from the DB objects, then what I have to use the so any object. Suppose if there is a create a stored procedure to drop any object at the runtime. This is the requirement. Create a stored procedure to drop any object at the runtime. Objects means select star from DB underscore objects. So that means within this table, I'm having the cluster is there, index is there, table is there, view will be there. So this is the object type it is there. So I want to pass any of the object name, table, view, index, cluster. Whatever I pass, that should be deleted. For that, I need to create a procedure. So how can we do normally? Suppose to drop the table, what we'll do? Drop table, table name will give. Same way to drop the view, drop view, view name. So like that, we have to provide the syntax. Suppose to drop the syntax, drop sequence, sequence, sequence name. So to drop the index, we have to use the drop index, index name. So this way we have to use this drop command. I want to use at the runtime, but I don't know which table I want to drop, or which index I want to drop, or which name I want to drop. So for that, we have to create a procedure to pass the runtime variable for this. table name or view name or for the entire object type and for the object name. For the both of them, we have to pass the runtime so that we can create a procedure with a drop of object or any name you can mention. Create or replace procedure drop underscore object. We will pass the object type in varchar2 and object name in varchar2. Is begin execute immediate. So syntax is drop space I have to give after that object type. So in the object type, it may be table or view or sequence index or synapse, anything it can be. So that will be pass it here. Now after that object name. Suppose if you want to delete the table, then you have to pass the object type as a table and whatever the table you want to delete, the table name you have to pass it here. So we'll compile this one. So procedure got compiled. To execute the procedure, we have to use this. So before that, I'll select some of the table name. What is the table name we are using here? I will create this table again. The table is created. So same table, I'm going to use it here to drop. Execute drop underscore object. This is the procedure name and object type. I have to pass the there is a table. So I'll pass the table, comma table name. That is xx underscore demo underscore 0805. Okay. So I'm calling this procedure with these parameters. The object type I am passing and the object name I am passing here. Now this table got deleted. So how will you know that? Select start from xx underscore demo underscore 0805. So now this table is not there. So like this, you can pass the, in place of table, you can pass the index and index name, you can pass it here. In place of this, you can pass the index name. Same if you drop the sequence or view, you can pass the view here and view name, you can pass it here. So like this, you can create a packages or procedures and you can call them. So within this procedures, if you want to use the, that means within the PLSQL blocks, if you want to use the DDL commands or DCL commands, you have to use the execute immediate. So that is mandatory to run the queries properly. So this is about the execute immediate. So suppose if I want to update any data in the table, so I can use the update statement also in this. But you can use this declare p underscore table name varchar2 30 and table name emp1 begin execute immediate update table name set salary is equals to colon b where department number is equals to colon b using 6000 comma 10 and so what it will do, it will update the salary for the department number 10 and here department number 10 department number 10. This is already existing. But wherever the department number 10 it is there, it is updated the salary with 6,000 here. Suppose I'll change this department number 30 and I'll give 8,000. Now check this table. So wherever the department number 30 it is there, it is updated with salary with 8,000. Okay. So like this, you can use this execute immediate for the DML operations also. But in the we have to pass the table name as a runtime parameter. Here, if you see, this is the runtime we are passing this. Okay. So instead of this already defining here in the variable type, you can use the ampersand so that runtime you can pass the employee table. Same way you can use the to get the data declare LV underscore tab name haircut of 20 haircut of 30 EMP table LV underscore employee number we're passing 7369 LV underscore employee data EMP percentage row type SQL statement haircut of 300. So begin, we're assigning the syntax into this SQL statement variable. Select star from table name LV underscore table name and where employee number is equals to this LV underscore employee number. CBMS output SQL statement I am printing here. Execute immediate SQL statement into LV underscore EMP data. I'm printing the DBMS output dot put underscore line of LV underscore employee data dot ename concatenate LV underscore EMP data dot salary. This way I'm getting this is the statement for this DBMS output statement. And for this DBMS output statement, this is the Smith and 800. So you can execute it again so that you will get it here. So with this, it is dynamic SQL is completed. So we'll move on to next topic, that is SQL triggers. Tomorrow we'll continue with this SQL triggers. Before that, any doubts in this dynamic SQL? So try to use the insert statement in the dynamic SQL and let me know. Okay. So how to insert using the execute immediate into table. Here this one. So this you have to try this. If not get, I will tell you later. Okay, how to use this. So no doubts. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Bye.